Welcome back to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage on this Sunday, October 20th, 2024. What we're tracking in this video is unseasonably warm temperatures for late October standards. We're going to be going over how warm temperatures we'll be getting throughout the week, precipitation chances, and we're tracking a Hurricane Oscar in the Western Atlantic. We're going to be getting into everything that you need to know in today's weather forecast. So welcome back, everyone. What you're looking at currently is your height anomaly map. And just to simply break this down for you, wherever you see the oranges and the reds, that's where you see the high pressure. And typically with high pressure, you see sinking air, lots of sunshine, so sun-splashed skies, and warmer temperatures, especially for this time of year. In the blue, that's where we have low pressure, or what we call a trough. That's what we have unsettled weather, cooler weather typically, because you have cloud cover and precipitation and stuff like that. So that's what you see in the blue. You see the high pressure up here into the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes region. Yes, and that's why we're seeing the sunshine today and the unseasonably warm temperatures for late October. We have a cutoff low pressure system down here into the Four Corners region, into the desert southwest of Arizona, New Mexico, bringing some unsettled weather down there today. Let's first look at our temperatures as we started off this morning. Any church services that you attended, you probably needed a light jacket out there, especially over into the mid-Atlantic states or out across the west, but pretty mild though across the central U.S. to start the morning. And here we go into the afternoon, unseasonably warm temperatures for this time of year. We're at the 20th of October and temperatures that are 25, 30 degrees above the norm for this time of year, especially up there into the upper Midwest and the northern plains. And you can see high temperatures up into those areas, into the Midwest, into the low, even mid 80s this afternoon, into places like Omaha, touching 80 perhaps into the Des Moines area and near Kansas City, and into the 80s down into Texas. A little bit of cooler air aloft across the Four Corners region. That's with the cutoff low pressure system that we're seeing down there in Utah, western Colorado, Arizona, and New Mexico. That's why temperatures are a little bit cooler this afternoon down there. Let's look at the overview here of the surface pressure here and also the fronts. You can see we do have three high pressure systems here in the eastern U.S. So no surprise, we have sun-splashed skies this afternoon. Get out and enjoy it across the east. It is going to come with some warmer temperatures. Low pressure system cut off from the main flow in the jet stream down here in the desert southwest. That's really the only game in town for precipitation. So what you get is right here, sunshine as we go through today. And looking here at the vorticity map, this basically shows you where the spin is in the mid-level of the atmosphere, and the brighter the color, the more spin there is. And usually you can identify where low pressure is. And you can see it's down here right in the Four Corners region of Utah, Colorado, Arizona, and New Mexico today. And yesterday it did bring some severe weather. We had a few severe weather reports of wind and hail yesterday going back to your Saturday, October 19th. We do have that return flow out of the Gulf of Mexico again today, out ahead of that low pressure system that could develop more severe storms, at least in isolated fashion across eastern New Mexico. There is a 5% chance again today for tornadoes into the Roswell area and east of Albuquerque as we go into this afternoon. So be watching out for that. And again, more wind and hail reports may be coming in as well. Otherwise, just precipitation, rainfall in the lower elevations, some higher elevation snows out here in Utah and western Colorado. As we go into tonight, you can see some snowfall continuing to fly across western Colorado. A more substantial low pressure system will develop up here in western Canada, British Columbia, Alberta, and Saskatchewan. Could be seeing some heavier snows up there in the central and northern parts of the provinces, and that could lead to some heavier precipitation amounts up there. Heavy rainfall into eastern New Mexico. Could be seeing an inch or two of rain down there over the next 24 hours or so, and maybe some snowfall. The heaviest will be in southwest Colorado, well removed from the Denver region, but still in those higher elevations, could be seeing over a foot of snowfall. Otherwise, snowfall will be piling up here into the provinces of British Columbia and Alberta, especially central and and northern British Columbia and Alberta. Several inches of snow, 6 to 12 plus inches up in those areas as well. Going through this upcoming work week, Monday, October 21st, that's tomorrow, going through Friday, October 25th, we're going to have zonal flow mostly across the United States. And what this means is the Pacific jet stream is going to be pretty much flat across the United States. So what you see is what you get type of thing. You see the colder air bottled up to the north up in northern Canada and near the Arctic Circle. We're just going to see Pacific air, and that's mild air that's going to be moving across southern Canada and much of the lower 48 here. A little bit of a pocket of cold air aloft up into Yukon, British Columbia, and Alberta, but other than that, we're really not seeing any cold air of note going through the week. So as we start the work week tomorrow afternoon, yeah, you can bet we're back into the 70s and 80s across the central and eastern U.S. Sun splash skies continue into Monday as well. We have a little bit of a cold front coming down from Canada, but it's not really cold air. We're just seeing cool air for this time of year. Maybe just those 40s and 50s and 60s out there, and then we're right back up into the 70s and 80s to end the week as we go into Friday afternoon here into the Midwest, into the northern plains, Great Lakes region as well. And precipitation prospects are going to be few and far between throughout the week. We're going to be pretty dry over here in the eastern and maybe even the central U.S. Some precipitation coming in out west may take a run at the central U.S., but otherwise the jet stream will be lifting further north into Canada, and that's where the precipitation will be laying out. British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, over here into Ontario, and even northern and central Quebec as well. And you can see that's where the active jet stream will be. So let's walk you through that. Monday, this is tomorrow. We got a pretty substantial 1002 millibar low pressure system up here, right on the province line of Saskatchewan and Manitoba, bringing some moderate snowfall up there on Monday. That cutoff low pressure system further south here on Monday could be causing some problems in the form of an isolated brief tornado or two across central Kansas and towards the Dodge City area, for example, and then maybe down into western Oklahoma and the eastern Texas panhandle east of Amarillo. So be watching out for that on Monday. And then as we go into Tuesday, 999 millibar low pressure system, pretty strong up there in northern Ontario, could be swinging that cold front down into the upper Midwest then. That's going to be the source of our cool down, will be that low pressure system swinging that cold front through the northern U.S. But big high pressure system here in the central U.S. right behind that will keep the sun splash skies going right through the middle of the week, the end of the week as well, Thursday into Friday. Wonderful weather across the central and the eastern U.S., and it's going to come with a lot of fanfare, a lot of warmer temperatures. So going through the next work week here, Monday, October 21st, that's tomorrow through Friday, October 25th, pretty scarce is the precipitation across the lower 48. We're really not seeing much out there, and that's not good news because the U.S. Drought Monitor that's released every single Thursday, was released this past Thursday. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of tan, orange, and red shaded colors on the map. That's moderate, severe, and extreme drought, and honestly this is going to be expanding and intensifying as we go throughout the week. Even in the eastern U.S. that is not in drought, abnormally dry conditions will start to develop later on this week. And looking at snowfall accumulations, it's going to really be Alaska that's going to be the big winners here through the week, where we could be seeing feet of snow, especially in those higher elevations. Could be seeing 2, 3, even 4 feet of snow in Alaska, maybe some snow across southern Canada, a few inches there, but the Rockies really not seeing much at all as we go through this week, and it has to do a lot with the Pacific air. The warmer sea surface temperatures over here in the eastern Pacific are just moving across the United States with a zonal flow from west to east, and really not cold enough for any snowfall out there. Let's talk about the tropics here. We are tracking a surprise hurricane in the western Atlantic basin. This is Hurricane Oscar, just off the coast of Cuba here and also of the Dominican Republic and Haiti. And this is a pretty small hurricane at that, and really not that well organized compared to a lot of the hurricanes we have seen so far this hurricane season. But as we mentioned several times, the ocean temperatures are very much off the charts down in this part of the world. So just off the coast of Cuba, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, and the eastern Bahamas, the ocean temperatures are very much above average for this time of year. And a hurricane will continue until this system makes landfall perhaps in eastern Cuba. A land interaction will make this a more mid-grade to weaker tropical storm, and then moving back, kind of boomeranging back to the northeast toward the eastern Bahamas. The eastern Bahama Islands here do have tropical storm watches currently, and we have hurricane warnings down here into northeastern Cuba. Right now here, as we go into Monday, we can see that down to 1,004 millibars land interaction. That's going to weaken that from a hurricane down to a mid-grade tropical storm, maybe even a weak tropical storm. And then as we go into Tuesday, that's going to move back over the open waters of the western Atlantic here, affecting the eastern Bahamas there. And then that's going to be taking a run perhaps at Bermuda as we go toward the mid and late portion of the week. And it's also going to be causing at least some indirect impacts to Florida here. Thankfully, no major impacts, but rip current risks and some rough surf may be possible as we start the week. That will continue as we go into the middle of the week, but starting to see lessening impacts as we go later into the week with the rip current risk and the rough surf there on the east coast of Florida and coastal Georgia. So that is certainly some good news. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for the latest weather information right at your fingertips, whether it's a video, a live stream, a seasonal forecast, a monthly weather outlook. We got you covered right here on this channel. Make sure to press the bell notification button so you get notifications when I do videos and live streams. Make sure to like the video, give it a thumbs up down below if you did enjoy it, and of course leave any comments, questions, and concerns below. We'll get to those later on after the video, and I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their weekend out there.